Uh, Hello everyone. Can anyone just confirm that they can hear me properly?
Yes,
Okay, great. So we'll wait till 4:10 and then we'll start our session. Till that time, if you know that someone is from your batch or something, your friends haven't joined yet, so let them know because today's session is more based on the workshop rather than studying the Google Cloud. And this session will help you throughout your journey to get the internships or how to make your resume, how to gain the study skills and all. So let your friends know that we have started this session so that everyone can have the knowledge about that. Okay, everyone, we'll wait for 3 more minutes and then we'll start our session.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Here we can see a lot of people are not yet joined. So please, if your friends are not yet joined, so please share a link with them and drop a small message that hey, try to join the session because a lot of information will be shared and they should not miss that out. Okay, so please do that.
Okay, it seems have we have to start now because we're running late on the time. So hey everyone, as you all know, my name is Jay Shah and welcome all of you to today's study session. So basically, what we'll do today, we'll go through one lab of your choice. If you have any sort of problem with any lab, so you can just put the link of the lab in the chat section. And if you guys want to have like if you want to directly go on the study session or the information session, then we can just skip the lab part and just share the valuable information with you. So just let me know whatever you want to do today, whether you want to do the lab or not in the chat section. Okay, it seems many people do not want to do the lab. So what I'll do, I'll share the link of the completed lab later if you want, or if you have any sort of problem, then we'll discuss one on one. Let me know if it's okay with you. I can see some people have raised their hands. So throughout the session, if you have any sort of problem, feel free to use the chat section. Mansi will answer all of your questions within that chat section, and I will continue this session here. Okay, so let's start now. So basically, most of you are from first or second year of the college, right? And as per my knowledge, most of you are studying computer engineering right now. Uh, Please use the chat section so that I can have information whether you are following me or not. Okay, we have third year students as well. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll first of all we'll go through the first and second year students, like the information about first and second year students, and then we'll hop to the third year students. Oh, we have electrical engineering student as well. Great. Oh, ICT. Okay, no problem. We'll get everything covered. So, okay, EC. Okay, so we'll start with first and second year computer students. Then we'll move forward to other branches as well, like EC and IT and all. So, first of all, uh, you need to do internships before you get to any company, right? So, basically, for internships, you need to take care of two time zones, whether you want to do an summer internship or fall internship, because most of the companies which are international also, they follow these kind of rules. Like if you want to do an internship in November, then you need to look for the internships from after like March or so, because they hire the interns 6 months before, so that they can do the afterward process of like onboarding the students or so. And yeah, their interview process take around 1 or 2 months. Like in the first they do the screening process, then after screening process they take some sort of examination, they take interviews as well. So I'll start with my experience. Like I applied for a Google internship when I was in third year. So what basically I had with me, uh, any of you know about ATS system? Like if there is anyone who knows about the ATS system, let me know in the chat section. Yes, it seems most of you don't know about the ATS system. Okay, so basically ATS system is called as application like applicant tracking system, and it is the system which is used by, yeah, I know what Google says, so I'm getting to that. So basically ATS system is called as applicant tracking system, and it is the system used by most of the companies which are multinational. So what it does, it basically takes the PDF or whatever format they have allowed of your resume. So what they do, they'll just take the resume, they put that resume into the application tracking system, and the system gathers all of the information in form of keywords from your resume directly. So what they'll do, first of all, they'll convert your PDF to some sort of list of the keywords, and they'll directly compare those keywords with their job requirements. So for example, let's say there is a opening for system analyst. So basically whenever you are, okay, system analyst might be not applicable for you, I'll just take another, like software engineering example. So what you'll need to do, you need to search on the Google for software engineering resume keywords. Sorry about the noises. Okay, I'll just share my screen so that you can see whatever I am doing right here. So, as I said earlier, the most of the companies follow these kind of systems. So what basically they'll do, they'll just convert that into a list of strings, and based on that, they will just compare those strings with whatever you are applying. So basically, let's take an example that you are applying for front end role for any multinational company. So for that particular role, you need to have most of these keywords in your resume. So if you are having most of these keywords in your resume, then and then your resume will be redirected to the whatever HR is looking for. And if you don't have these kind of keywords in your skill section or whatever your projects you have mentioned in, like whatever in each and every section will be covered in the ATS system. So if you don't have those kind of keywords, so even if you have a very good, like if you, even if you have a very good projects, even if you have the internship experiences, you won't get selected. Because let's see, the current scenario is whenever you go to any job opening, there are 2 to 10 open positions, and people applying for those jobs are around 1000 to 2000. So you cannot expect that that particular HR will look all the 1000 resume, and after watching all the 1000 resume they will have your resume in hand and they will look at your, like you cannot expect that. So first of all, they just take all the resumes and go through that ATS system. So if you have those kind of keywords in your skill section or in your whatever project section, in your experience section, in your internship section, or if you are applying for internship, then you won't have any particular work experience before that. So in the skill section, you need to have those kind of those kind of keywords so that you can at least pass the first phase of the application process. So if you're directly making the resume and you're not adding those kind of keywords, then you might get rejection emails most often. So that will be the first stage. Then in the second stage, uh, you need to create a abstract resume. So to pass the ATS system, you can use the Word, or you can use the uh, what can I say? Mostly Word, like mostly the resume built on the Word is preferred, or you can use latex. Like any of you know about the latex? Let me know in the chat section. Okay, heard of it. Anyone else? Okay, so basically latex is, okay, most of you don't know about that. So basically, latex is a PDF generator, or you can say a document generator. And using latex, you can generate a perfect resume. So basically, if you are using the Word and also, yeah, you can say that language for making PDF. So basically, if you want to create a perfect resume which have the perfect word and like you the intention of the word and all. So if you want the perfection in your resume, you must use latex. And as I said earlier, you can get the GitHub account for free after getting the college domain email address. So from GitHub itself, you can find the templates for latex resumes. Uh, I'll show my resume as well, so that you can have a basic idea how latex works. It is from college domain, and you get the free domains and all. So that is after part. So after making your resume done, we'll move forward to how to find the internships, right? Okay, so let me know whether anyone know about the Google alerts. Is there anyone who know about the Google alert? No, not that. Google alert is a sort of product of Google. So basically, I would say, if you know, the Google works on the keyword system. So basically, whatever you are searching on the, yeah, great Ritika, you know about the Google alerts. So basically, whatever you are searching on Google, Google works on the keyword system. Like Google is getting the keyword from your side, and it is matching the keywords from the documents from all of the web it has, and then it gets the result to you in form of websites, in form of documents, and so. So let me show you what is Google Alert actually. So make sure you go to those links and you get the latest information from that. So for getting the latest information about internships, you can use Google Alerts. You can set alerts there, and you can get the latest uploaded jobs right after that gets online. Apart from that, for getting the information about internships, you can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the biggest social media platform. So, is there anyone who know about the LinkedIn or using the LinkedIn on the regular basis? Okay, great. So you can also use LinkedIn to get the information about internships and all. You can set up the alerts based on the internships and all, or getting the full-time jobs and all. And second thing, you need to use the Google wisely. Like you are using the Google on your regular day basis, but and I might let me show what I am talking about. Post to get or which you are not like interested in, you can use those keywords to search Google wisely. So I'll share that website here so that you can have a better look about that later on. So use Google, LinkedIn, and also you can use several website like Naukri.com. Like Naukri.com is the biggest website to search the internships and all. Then you can use Monster.com. You can use several websites like geeksquad.com or so. And you can also like these are the third party website like Geek Squad and all. So they will, you can just join their WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups, and you will have the daily information about whatever job openings are going on. So basically that will be the whole information I wanted to share. And before that, I will share one more information. Like if you are in the first or second semester, then you can choose the learning path right now, because see, the data structure and algorithms are most important things to learn. You need to join the competitive programming and all to get the idea like what real world looks like you are not going to use the linked list and all whenever you get the job, but basically what it does, it will get you the better idea of how to like reach to the solution from the problem you are having. So I would suggest like use the lead code, use the code forces, code chef and all. So is there anyone who have heard of these website like lead code, code chef, code forces, or any other competitive programming platform? Okay, seems like most of you have heard that. So you can use that path like if you are in the first or second year. So if you are in the first or second year, you do not need to worry about the internships and all. What you'll do is like you can do internships, but first of all you need to learn everything. Like if you are into Android development, if you are interested in learning Node or React.js, then eventually in the web designing, if you want to end up in the software engineering. So based on that, just do one thing like learn whatever you want to learn in a deeper way. Then after learning that for 2 to 3 months, like this is the maximum time to learn a particular language and all. So if you are interested in Python, then learn Python deeply. Then you can use uh, the hackathons and all to test your learning. Okay, it is good that you found this interesting. So what you will do in the first and second year, you can just start learning, and you can dedicate your 2 to 3 months into the learning in a deeper way. So let's see, like whatever you are learning in the college will not ever asked anywhere whenever you are getting the internships or whenever you are getting into the real time jobs. Like I have done the internships, I have been working as a freelancer for almost 2.5 years. So I have the personal experience with America based companies, like USA based companies. I have worked with several Canadian companies. I have worked with Australian companies. So they are not at all interested whether you have anything certifications and all, whether you have learned anything and all. All they are interested in is whether you have applied those things in a real time or not. Like before I got the freelancing, I created almost 5 real-time projects, and then I started working for different companies. So, and before I got my internship at IIM, I have created 9 different data science related projects. I had most of the experience in that. I have participated in several hackathons and all. I have also won 2 hackathons. So basically, what you'll do, you can just learn things and you can participate in several hackathons. You can use uh, MLH. Like, is there anyone who have heard of MLH, Major League Hacking? Okay, great. For those who don't have the information about Major League Hacking, they are they are the organizers who organize the hackathon every weekend, like on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you can participate in those hackathons, like those are virtual and those are international hackathons. So if you're participating in those hackathons, then you will also have the greater experience of having the teammates from bigger colleges, like from Stanford and Princeton and all. Like, and also you can have the better experience of interacting with great companies. Like for example, I participated in one of I participated in Survey Hacks, and I got to communicate with recruiters of PwC from there. So, for getting the internships, hackathons are also the great ways to communicate with recruiters. Like, if you are using the websites and all, then you are applying with resumes. But if you are participating in several hackathons, and if you are creating several good projects for, like, not several but a good project within that hackathon, and you showcase those projects to the like partnered companies or the sponsor companies, then it is the best way to get internships if you talk about the current scenario after the COVID, because all of the companies are getting virtual. They are conducting the all of the recruitment process virtually, so you can use these hackathon platform to get the internships as well, and pay for the internships which are based in the USA or out of the India. They pay really well. Like if I talk about the research recent internships and all, I have a friend who participated in a hackathon which was conducted by an USA university. So she got an internship from C Brands name company, and she's getting paid $1,000 per month as a stipend for 6 months. Like for internship, she's getting paid $1,000 right now. So I can say if you have the potential of creating good projects for the hackathons or winning the several hackathons, then that will be the great way to get internships and jobs as well. Other than that, okay, how to get an inspiration for the projects? Like, okay, let's like it is almost done of the getting internships and how to create the resumes and all. So in the resume, you just need to make sure you have the clean resume, and you choose you can use the online ATS system to test your resume whether your resume can be stand out or not. So make resume using those kind of online templates, or you can also use. Okay, I'll get that. I'll cover that part later as well. So basically, you can make the resumes using those kind of online latex or something. And the most important thing about resume will be having a portfolio website. Like if you are creating a portfolio website, then your chances of getting the internships or full-time jobs gets almost 20 to 30% better, because you have a real-time experience of creating something. So just do that, create a resume, test on the ATS system, and make sure you create different resume for different job openings. Like you cannot apply for software engineering, for data science, for machine learning, and for business analyst role with similar resume. Like tweak your resumes a little bit based on whatever job openings you are applying to, and then apply for that, test on resume. And for getting the information about internships, you can use Google Alerts, you can use several websites like Naukri.com, Geeksquad, and all. And yeah, that will be pretty much it to finding an internship at all. And make sure you apply for any of the internships within 5 hours of the upload time, so you can have the better you have better chance to get into that particular internship. And most of the company doesn't care about the referrals for the internship. But if you are applying for a job which is entry level job or the 1 or 2 years experience job, then I would suggest never ever, I will repeat, never ever apply using the online portal or any portal. Like if you want to apply for a job which is requiring at least 6 months or 1 year of experience, then apply via referral system. Like you can send the connection request to the whatever job openings you are applying to. Like if you want to apply for a software engineering role, then what you can do, you can just simply send the connection request using LinkedIn to the software engineers of that particular company. Like let's say uh, you want to apply for software engineering at Amazon, then you can do like you can send the several connection requests using LinkedIn to the software engineers who are currently working at the Amazon. If you are sending 40 to 50 connection requests, then it might possible that 5 to 10 people will accept your request. And after they accept your request, you can make a particular message that uh, you don't know them and they don't know you, but you are willing to apply for this particular position. You can mention the link as well, to which redirects to the job opening. And then you can also share the resume of yours, like for the software engineering whatever you have created for. Then you can ask them whether they can help you with the referral or not. So if you are sending the messages to 10 people, then it is might possible that you will have the replies from 2 to 5 people, and out of those people only 1 or 2 people will be able, like will be say yes to you to help you with the referrals and all. So apply via that system. And if you are applying via referrals, then it is more likely that whatever HR has like posted the job opening, they will see your resume on the first come first serve basis. Like if an employee of their company has uh, recommended you, then it is more likely to getting you the uh, interview. Because see, what whenever you are applying to any of the companies, then the first stage of that will be the screening test or whatever test will vary based on the company to company. But it is always to get the interview. Like well, if you are not getting the interview, if you are not passing the ATS system, then it won't make any sense to have the best projects or best internship experiences. So make sure to get the referrals and get the HR's attention to your resume for that particular position. So once you have the access to the interview, then it will be easy for you to get the experience of different experience of different interviews. And after giving the interviews to 10 to 20 companies, you will have better understanding of how these companies take the interviews and how interviews are vary from one job opening to another job opening and all. So go on that particular way, and then after getting rejections from 100 companies, getting rejections from 20 interviews, you will have your first acceptance of job. So if you are getting the rejection, it doesn't matter. So follow these kind of thing, and you will get more success in your path. So basically that will be it for from my side. So for next 10 minutes. If you have some sort of questions regarding anything, you can just ask in the chat section, and I will try my best to answer those questions.